We'll move on now to begin our trip along the continuous tube that forms the gastrointestinal tract. We'll start where the esophagus joins the stomach, and we'll end at the exit, the anal canal. The stomach is up here. This is just part of it. To get a clear look at the stomach, we'll remove several structures in front of it and below it, starting with this bulky fold of peritoneum, the dependent part of the greater omentum. Next, we'll remove these numerous loops of jejunal-ileum that make up the greater part of the small intestine. We'll remove them by dividing the double sheet of peritoneum that attaches them to the posterior abdominal wall, the mesentery. After removing the jejunal-ileum, we'll also remove the colon, which starts down here and goes up, across, and down. Along with the colon, we'll remove this double sheet of peritoneum that goes from the stomach to the transverse colon, the gastrocolic ligament. With these structures out of the way, we start to get a much clearer view. The last structure hiding the stomach is the liver. We'll remove this left lobe of the liver. Now we can see the stomach clearly. All this is the stomach. This is the underside of the diaphragm. Here's the esophagus coming through its hiatus in the diaphragm. In this view, we're looking up at the stomach from about this angle. Much of the stomach lies above the level of the costal margin, which is here. To get a more complete view of the stomach, we'll look at it in isolation. Here's the way in, the esophagogastric junction. Here's the way out, the pylorus, which leads to the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum. The narrow part of the stomach leading to the pylorus is the pyloric antrum. In this specimen, it's unusually narrow. This broad curve facing to the left is the greater curve of the stomach. This much tighter curve facing to the right is the lesser curve. This upward and backward bulge is the fundus of the stomach. It sits right below the diaphragm. Here's the inside of the stomach. Like all the parts of the gastrointestinal tract, its wall is formed by an outer layer of smooth muscle and an inner layer of mucosa. In the fundus, the mucosal layer is smooth. In the pyloric antrum, it's thrown into prominent longitudinal folds. At the esophagogastric junction, the muscle coat of the esophagus forms a partly effective sphincter that keeps the contents of the stomach from passing upwards. At the pylorus, the thickened muscular coat forms a highly effective sphincter that relaxes intermittently to let the contents of the stomach into the duodenum a little at a time. Here are the mucosal folds of the pylorus protruding into the duodenum.